You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country.
Donald Trump and this administration are certainly not going to let a good tragedy go without capitalizing on it and lifting the specter of racism and fear and bigotry and xenophobia, Islamophobia. These people are vitriolic, venom-spewing haters, white supremacists. I hope that there's still a modicum of people out there who may have tuned out years ago when I started calling the Republican Party the most organized, effective white supremacy organization on the planet. I got a lot of pushback, but I would hope that those people maybe remember that I said it and that they disagreed, and they'll come back now and say, "Ooh, you know what? Maybe you were right." Because Donald Trump, in the wake of a tragedy where a 22-year-old National Guard member was gunned down in the streets of Washington, D.C. by an unhinged lunatic from Afghanistan, is wanting you to fear brown people, foreigners, migrants. They're a danger to us all. And rather than talk about some specific threat from Afghanistan, this individual who for over a decade worked for the United States military, was on the payroll of the CIA. Rather than that, he wants you afraid of Somalians, Minnesotans, to be specific. I'm going to play this clip, and then we're going to get to a wild, insane, slur-fueled True Social post from Donald Trump where he's attacking Tim Walz and calling him slurs for people with intellectual disabilities, which I'm going to blur the word because I don't traffic in slurs here. It's so to call it insensitive is just to gloss over it, makes it like it's seeming to be politically correct. It's not about that. It's about, what about people who are they themselves have difficulties with learning? What about families who have children who are afflicted by different disabilities? It's just insensitive to actual people, not to some larger, "Oh, I'm not politically correct. Oh, you're trying to be woke." It's not about that. This is the president, the representative for all of us. Shouldn't he try to be decent for like 5 fucking seconds? He can't manage it. And here he is fear-mongering about Somalis who come here for fear of death in their own country, come here for a better life, and he's demonizing them in the face of this tragedy, this shooting that he has some role in, because Sarah Beckstrom would not be dead if not for being deployed to Washington, D.C. from West Virginia. Watch Trump.
Many of these people are criminals. Many of these people are people that shouldn't be here. And many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out a lot of the people that, we've taken a lot of them out of here. But they came in, legally, right? Yeah, I know, this deal story. Many are wonderful, yeah, I'm sure.
I said many are here legally, though. What should they think in terms of their prospects?
Well, they can't be happy, okay? They can't be happy. Because what's taking place between that, if you look at Somalia, they're taking over Minnesota, and we got a lot of problems with the gangs, with all of the things taking place in Minnesota. We have an incompetent governor, we have a dope governor. They can't be happy about what's going on. And if you talk about the Afghans, there's a problem because so many Bedouins came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, but whoever the strongest, they got on the planes. There was no checking. They just swamped the planes. They took off. We had no idea who they were. Yeah, do you want to ask a question behind?
Me?
Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Sure, hi.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
Thankfully, there was a reporter there to ask a poignant follow-up. What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the National Guard members? Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off. They're ripping us off. Do you think that at some point members of the MAGA world at large will start to get tired, to grow tired of this manipulation, this obvious manipulation of them and their emotional state? Like, Donald Trump believes, and maybe he's right. I don't know. I don't traffic in MAGA world. I don't break bread with racists. But does Donald Trump believe this is the currency that could be well spent? Is racism? It's so prevalent within the MAGA movement that this is what's going to get traction? Is demonizing not even the group of people? It's even lazy. I mean, it's not like he's out there banging hard against the Afghan population of the United States, in the United States. He's banging hard against some other group. It's remarkable. So when this tweet that was put out there by Tim Walz saying, release the MRI results, it seems like a pretty on-the-nose accurate request, because Donald Trump is either, well, he's probably some combination of the both. It's a spectrum, right? Just too far gone to recover relative to his cognition, or it's just bigotry and racism as a metric by design to inflame the passions of MAGA world, to get them to forget the fact that the Epstein files are nowhere near getting ready to be released. Donald Trump is probably thanking his lucky stars that this National Guardswoman was murdered, because now we're talking about this and not the Epstein files. I wouldn't put it past him. He's sociopathic, psychotic, unable to empathize. But he tweeted this screed, this insanity, maybe the most unhinged, wild post on True Social from Donald Trump. This is it. A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disruptive, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. And then he rambles and lies about the people who are here and how much welfare they get and all this other nonsense. And then he attacks Tim Walz, the seriously slur governor of Minnesota. Tim Walz does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman / woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came to the U.S.A. illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how quote unquote badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. So he's calling into the question the legitimacy of Ilhan Omar's citizenship. She's a citizen. He's maligning what she wears because it isn't Western, I guess. And he's calling Governor Tim Walz a slur. Are you proud of this, MAGA world? All of the trolls who are regularly here, who watch every single minute of every video that I post, this is your guy? This is leadership? This rises to the level of the office of President of the United States. You want to talk about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln, and you want to revere those types, and then this is your guy you think is in line with that list of names? There was a part 2, and it got even worse. That he's going to, and he leans right into, this is the other thing, this is kind of the theme of the day, that white Christian nationalism, of course, is going to pop up its ugly, disgusting, anti-democratic head anytime that there's a brown person that needs to be demonized. Donald Trump says, I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover. Terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States. Now, the rest of this is going to follow here, who is not a net asset. The rest of this that's going to follow is going to be about this. It's going to be about what Donald Trump's judgment or his determination of who's a net asset or not. Donald Trump would probably think, I'm not a net asset to the United States. It's just unfortunate for him. He can't do anything about me because I'm an American-born citizen. There's no difference between naturalized or born in the country citizen, but to Donald Trump, there is. I mean, there's no difference to my citizenship and her citizenship, even in Donald Trump's eyes. He thinks he can cancel both. So it's who is not a net asset to the United States or who is incapable of loving our country. Donald Trump would think, I don't love the country too. This is what I'm talking about. We are run by a rule of laws, the rule of law, a set of laws, a determination under the law about who gets this and who gets. It's not up to Donald Trump's dementia-riddled brain to determine who loves the country, who gets to stay, who's a net asset and who's not. End all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility. Denaturalize. That means take away the citizenship of. That means maybe Ilhan Omar, who he mentioned previously, with her swaddled hijab, to use the pronunciation of Jeanine Pirro. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is in a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Buzzwords of a neo-Nazi, buzzwords of the AFD, buzzwords of white supremacy generally from Donald Trump, the President of the United States. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, not even illegal, just disruptive to his agenda, disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration, and I'm going to get to this, can fully cure this situation. Other than that, our dipshit, dumb of a president, other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long. Well, it sounds like you're talking about yourself. You certainly hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for, Donald Trump. Are you going to be checking out soon? Are you going to follow my prediction that you'll be dead within a year because of your gravy-fueled cardiovascular system? You won't be here for long. So what exactly is this remigration thing? You may have heard this term. You might think it sounds legal and technical. This is the terminology of white nationalists, of white supremacists, of Nazis. And its origin, what a weird coincidence, does come from Nazi Germany. This is an article that talks a little bit about it from CNN. Department of Homeland Security issued a call to remigrate. Here's the history of the term, often associated with far-right groups. In the late 1930s, quote, before the concentration camps and gas chambers, there was a solution to remigrate Jews to Madagascar, Miller Idris explained. Indeed, Adolf Hitler weighed multiple remigration policies and other anti-Semitic proposals before arriving at his final devastating solution to the quote-unquote Jewish question, the Holocaust. And although the world vowed never again, Miller Idris said, decades later, neo-Nazis were proudly wearing references to the anti-Semitic remigration proposal on T-shirts. Remigration is, quote, this idea that you should send people who don't belong in this country to another place, Miller Idris said. While remigration isn't often used in daily conversation, Miller Idris told CNN in recent years, the concept has found a champion in a new far-right conspiracy, the Great Replacement theory. The far right believes, quote, any particular state that has a white majority population that wants to retain it or restore it, you would have to get rid of people of color, Miller Idris said. Quote, and you either do that violently or by remigrating them. So this is the president of the United States using a shooting, the murder of a young woman, to fuel his fever dream of white supremacy in the United States, to create ethnic cleansing in the United States. It's no longer hyperbole. It can't be denied that the Republican Party is the most effective white supremacy organization on the planet. It just can't. It is self-evident, as written in our Declaration of Independence. They're going to use this to do harm, inexorable harm to the body politic of the United States, but to actual human beings who live here, who promote the betterment of our country, who provide for economic stimulus to the general economy of the United States through their jobs, through their hard work, through their families, through their spending, in taxes. And Donald Trump is afraid of brown people. MAGA world, largely. Anyway, what do you think? I'm going to invite you to this conversation. We'll just get out of here. This is becoming an emotionally heavy day. What do you think? I invite you, comment below, engage with this content. Make sure you're subscribed, you like, you comment. All of those things absolutely do help the algorithm to have this channel and this content discovered by new possible viewers, and you can help in that. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Let's stick together, be genuine, take care of one another.